Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. We see Palantir Technologies absolutely explode today in terms of price action, trading volume, and options activity. PLTR exploded up over 6% on the day, breaking a $17 resistance point. A lot of people are asking, what happened to Palantir today, and why are we seeing such an immense amount of trading volume coming into the stock? There's a lot of things going on in the world and important things that we do need to discuss. So make sure you stay tuned, hit that like button, and subscribe for daily videos. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. So do your own research. Let's pop it up on the screen today. You can see Palantir does fairly well, especially with market opening here. Lots of buying pressure coming in to Palantir stock. And like I said, breaking this resistance point of $17 that we've talked about before. Now, if you're new to Palantir stock, we do have earnings that is coming in just a little under a month. And especially with the previous resistance points that we talked about, this breakout could lead to that next resistance point of about $20 that we've discussed, which is a really psychological point for Palantir, especially here in the next few weeks. Now, focusing on really what happened today was the amount of different things that we have going on in the world and how Palantir can help benefit with these types of products and, of course, with these types of events. Now, with the trading volume of 106 million, I really had to do some research wondering what is going on and how Palantir was really getting involved with this. Now, specifically looking here and talking about what we do have going on over the weekend, we did have the Palestinian militant group that launched that large-scale attack on Israel. We've been seeing this blow across the news, and this attack was really a surprise because especially Israel has a very strong defense system, and it was actually unable to detect or deter the surprise attack. And talking about investing, especially during war times, is there's a lot of emotion, and markets tend to shrug off these geopolitical events, just looking at previous large events in history. But what we do really focus on in three industries to watch is especially these defense systems. And Palantir is one of the main points in the products that it sells in terms of the clients that it serves, and that is government contracts. And especially the government is the biggest market for Palantir stock, as it makes up a majority of its contracts, especially recently with that basically 250 million Department of Defense contract. So going back to that, it is a beneficiary of this unrest that we're seeing in the Middle East. I would agree with that because what Palantir really specializes in terms of the AI, its artificial intelligence, its Palantir Foundry products that it offers is security and artificial intelligence solutions. And governments worldwide, including defense and intelligence agencies, they actually use Palantir software platforms to enhance their security and defense capabilities in many different ways by utilizing their artificial intelligence defense software. So the fact that Palantir right here comes a large demand due to the unrest that we are seeing in the Middle East. And it really makes sense, especially with the catastrophes that we've seen with these attacks on Sunday. No wonder why we've seen an immense amount of buying pressure coming in here on Monday, especially if these government defense systems are really relying on Palantir systems to help provide security and surveillance, and that's what their purpose is. And especially in a conflict situation, there might be heightened focus on this type of analyzing data, and this is an increase in demand and likely why we could probably see a large increase in trading volume, especially since Palantir has contracts with various government agencies and different organizations around the world, and they might have an increased need for Palantir softwares and intelligent analysis. So interesting to see there, and especially with Palantir, like I said, right now it is forging many partnerships. And recently what we've talked about, especially not just government contracts, even though those are the majority and nearly gets 60% of its revenue from those government contracts, Palantir is starting to diversify its client base that it's selling its services to. And a prime example is last week we saw the announcement that they are top bidder for the United Kingdom health service contract that's going to analyze millions upon millions amounts of data for those citizens tapping into the healthcare industry. So Palantir really here diversifying, and you're seeing in terms of buying pressure coming in, breaking this resistance zone could be a great catalyst, especially like I talked about with earnings coming up here on November 6th, November 7th, basically right around then. And Palantir has had revisions that have been adjusted 5 times in the bullish perspective over the last 90 days. So Palantir by Wall Street analysts is really being set to these higher highs and is being set to this high curriculum that it does need to achieve in order to please the Wall Street analysts and large institutional investors. So the fact that we've had this breakout today, and especially showing the demand in this increased need, especially ahead of earnings right here, could lead Palantir to great opportunities in terms of valuation, and not just in terms of that, but actually providing defense AI application softwares that can help protect different countries from these different types of attacks in the future. I mean, it's not all about the money. Of course, it's about protecting people too at the end of the day. And if Palantir can help increase that, and we can see governments that are increasing their need for utilizing different types of AI software like this, then that could be great. That's a good benefit to the world. So good to see here Palantir doing well, and especially like I said, that we're seeing an immense increase in trading in terms of options activity, and we've seen over 500,000 contracts thus far today, and just the amount of contracts represents 54.2 million underlying shares, working out to over 108% of PLTR's average daily volume. Now, what everybody is specifically focusing on is this high volume for this $18 strike call option expiring October 13th. That's going to be this Friday, with 56,000 contracts trading today just for that actual strike call option on October 13th. And if we head back over here, looking at the options, looking at expiration dates for October 13th, this agrees with the NASDAQ article. We're seeing over basically 100,000 calls, and we're seeing even on the bearish potential here, people that are predicting a little bit of a correction, vice versa. Nonetheless, lots of implied volatility, lots of implied options trading, especially around this strike price right here. And what this does bring, even if we did have a correction or if we have more bullishness coming into Palantir stock, is this brings a lot more eyes into this company. And especially in terms of a really important day, like we've already mentioned a few times in this video, with earnings coming ahead, that could be very important for Palantir, especially because it does have a big thing to accomplish, and that's what the Wall Street analysts have been changing those revisions, like I said, 5 times in the bullish perspective. So great day to start off for Palantir, especially on a Monday, and with over 100 million in terms of trading volume. That's pretty insane. Double its average trading volume that we've seen, especially in kind of on the last day 50-day moving averages. So nonetheless, great to see. We'll be keeping you guys updated, especially because Palantir could have a large day of volatility tomorrow. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Of course, do your own research and make sure you kind of look into following investment advice around war and conflict. It can be very confusing, so do your own research, look more into that, because there is a lot of interesting historical patterns that you can analyze and kind of use that for your future risk assessments, or basically kind of what your goal is for the future. Take care, peace out, I'll catch you guys later.